Hello and welcome to Stories, the True and the Fiction. The podcast that revolves around one central theme, stories, and the people that tell them. We'll talk about movies, TV shows, video games, historical events, and weird news headlines. There's really no topic we won't touch. But it doesn't stop there. If you've got a story, something funny or random that may have happened to you or a friend, send it to thetrueandthefictional@gmail.com. Until then, it's story time.
My lords, my ladies, generals of the Alliance, aldermen of Westport and beyond, not since the great battle against Gorlock the Destroyer have I seen such fine noblemen gathered. And yet, like that time, I find myself filled with the same sense of sadness and sorrow. On that day, on that hallowed field of Western Brandon, after our great victory against the professional baddie of Gorlock the Destroyer, I never felt so alive, and yet I was filled with such sadness. For on that day, there were no more battles to fight, and our tale was done. But my sadness was derived not from that, but from witnessing our king, Neil, ruler of the Alliance, laying in a pool of his own blood after an epic duel with such a villain. As he lay dying, he held my hand and promised that his line would not end. That Rebecca Cassells, goddess of the moon, would bless not only him, but all of us. For my beloved king died, gave me his blade, the legendary sword of Flame of the West, and he said soon his child will be born. Worthy. How could a mere child, even a child born of a goddess, be worthy of holding the will of fire? And soon, today, there he was, so young, perfect, and he held out his little hand and called the Flame of the West to it. And I asked, how? Fate? How? And his mother said, no, not fate. This is 10% luck, 20% skill, 15% concentrated power of will, 5% pleasure, 50% pain, and 100% of the reason to remember his name. We welcome Caleb, future High King, ruler of the Alliance, to the world. Welcome, everyone, to Stories, True and the Fictional. I am, of course, your narrator and host and fan of The Knight's Tale, if you're not determined by the introduction. Chris Park. I am, of course, joined by sports analysts and recent enthusiasts of the Women's World Cup, watching it only for the sport, not for the fact that it's fit women running around. James J. Brown, how you going, sir?
I'm going well. And
Now, were you also a little disappointed when you found that young Australian star was injured and couldn't play that one game?
That what?
that young Australian, when she was injured, she couldn't play. Were you a little bit also disappointed?
What, you mean Sam Kerr?
No. Not that, the other one. She was injured for one game, but then came back for the second one. The young 20-something-year-old, whatever her name is, I don't know.
Mary
Don't
Fowler.
care. Yeah, that's the one.
That's
disappoint.
Look. To be honest, I don't know all the players' names. I'm not like obsessed, and
You don't watch them for the names, do you?
Hey, look, I'm just saying, I equally watch the men's soccer when that comes around, and I don't know all their names. I can probably name 2 Australian soccer players, like both genders, like across the, like I don't know that many. And I can name Mark Viduka. No, not Mark. Was it Mark Viduka or Mark? See, I've lost.
Mark Viduka, but he hasn't played for about 20 years.
Yeah, okay. That's one. And then there's Mark Schwarzer. And I only know Mark Schwarzer because he is a local.
Harry Kuehl?
That's...
There you go.
Yeah. Tim Cahill.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
All right.
But can I ask you a question, Jamie? Can I ask you a question? Did someone pay $40,000 to take a nap in the front row like that guy did for the WNBA in America? Did you hear about that?
I heard about that.
He paid $40,000 for, I think, the whole front row at a WNBA game, and literally bought a blanket and his pajamas and started getting tired throughout the game and laid across all the seats with his blanket and his little night hat and went to sleep, and then wondered why he got kicked out.
Again,
Wow.
But as a paying customer, that is your right. That is your
Yes.
God-given right. If you want to take a nap during a sporting event, that is your absolute right as a paying customer. They've probably never seen so many seats sold at a WNBA game, let alone...
And this is passionate coming from Chris, because he is one who has paid many a ticket for his wife to take a nap in the cinema.
So many tickets, so many events, so many opening nights.
And we're not talking midnight screening. We're not talking.
Oh no!
We're not talking standard session. We're talking gold class
Seating.
Yes, and yes, those seats are comfortable, but that doesn't mean you can nap in them.
They're not that comfortable. Like, they're not comfortable enough to have a nap in.
I just strongly disagree.
It is also her right to have a nap and then complain that she didn't fully understand the movie plot.
Yes. My favorite time, and this wasn't at the cinemas, but I think it was at my place. We were watching that Lawless with Tom Hardy, Shia LaBeouf,
Yep.
Guy Pearce, I believe.
Yep.
And your wife, Chris, she just dozed off, and then this pinnacle moment, she opens her eyes. She goes, "What? So why do you do that?" And it was like the whole movie was building to this point.
To the one point.
Yeah.
I honestly think if you fall asleep during the movie, you have no right to ask any questions. You have a right to fall asleep. That is your right.
Yeah.
You
That
have
is your
no right to
prerogative.
bother
That
the
is
other
your
movie
prerogative.
watchers. You have no right to bother the other movie watchers with questions that you could not keep your eyes awake for.
100%.
No, I agree.
Mhm.
We, of course, if you recognize that sound of voice, we are, of course, joined by our other host, friend of the podcast, wrestling enthusiast and analytics expert on all things on the mat, Ryan D. Haig. Ryan, I have to ask a question to you about your beloved sport.
Now, I'm going to preface by, I am actually, believe it or not, 3 weeks behind on all wrestling at the moment.
I'm not going to ask you anything about current events, obviously.
Okay.
But do you think there are some people out there that still think it's real?
Oh, definitely. There are. And as part of the internet wrestling community, I see that very often.
How is that? I see. Look, as you know, I'm a fan. I will watch. Like, Zelina Vega is well worth any kind of outfit that she wants to wear.
Yeah.
And it makes like, holy cow. But the point is, I'll watch the show. I'm a huge fan. But it's fake. But how I don't understand then, I get they try to make it look real where they announce, like, the suspensions, and they announce these fake things because of, various different things to try to make it seem like there's this huge organized body about wrestling. It's like going, no, there's not. But obviously people buy into that. Is that correct, Ryan?
Yeah. Look, and I think there's a certain age where you're forgiven. Obviously the youngsters, the children up to
Oh no, if
12,
you're a little child, you're 100%.
and but yeah, there are still people out there who will fight tooth and nail. That I guess they're people that kind of live in that bubble and they don't want that bubble burst. Whereas people like myself, I watch it for the entertainment value, knowing,
Yep.
I don't like to use the word fake. I like to use the word predetermined outcomes because like some of the injuries that people suffer are legitimate, but
Oh no, there are real injuries. There are real. They have to also
everything is
change up certain events as well because of obviously the wrestlers as they're fighting, they get themselves into bad situations, and so they just have to
yes. But it's
change up
just
on the fly.
predetermined
Yeah.
outcomes. So when you go into a Monday Night Raw or a pay-per-view, we all know that all the outcomes and the winners of the matches have been decided prior to the actual event. So yes, in that
But then you
retrospect,
get
it
some
is all real.
amazing things.
Yeah.
Like the champion Snoop Dogg,
Mm-hmm.
who has to on the fly save a wrestling match.
Oh yes, that was
and become himself a champion. And I'm going, well done, Snoop. Hats off to you,
And
dog.
that was good thinking of Snoop. You wouldn't think someone who has ingested that much marijuana can think well on the fly, and he actually did, and he saved that segment when Shane McMahon returned from injury, slid into the ring, and injured himself before he even threw a punch.
Yeah, because he's a 50-year-old dude. What did he think was going to happen?
Do you think Snoop Dogg is one of those guys that think it's real? Just because he's that high? Because he's that high?
You know what? If Snoop Dogg came up to me and said, "Hey, wrestling's real," and you better believe it, I'll say yes, sir, because the man has committed 2 murders and
Snoop says something.
So, and still he's a card-carrying member of either the Bloods or Crips. I don't want to offend either by stating that, but yes, I would say yes, sir, Snoop Dogg. Whatever you say, my fine
it's like
gentleman.
Unquestionably, sir. No, I'm not ever 100%, sir. Whatever you say, sir. If this is the path we will walk, then we will walk with this path. and you know what? I don't respect a lot of the rap music, but I do respect Snoop, and I always will. I think Snoop and actually Eminem as well are two of the. I understand the whole concept of brag rap, but sometimes I don't care about how many mansions you have and how great you think your game is. But then having said that, I'm also a Lionel Messi fan, not a Cristiano Ronaldo fan, because I don't like the big braggart. I like to see a man just get the shit done.
Well, speaking of Eminem, I actually learned something for the first. I was this many years old when I learned. Did you know Eminem actually stands for every mother is nice except mine? ENIM. Yeah, I found that out yesterday.
I just thought he liked M&Ms, and then for copyright reasons, just changed it a little bit.
No, I thought it's because his name starts like
Marshall Mathers.
Yeah, M.
No, but there you go.
Are you telling me that Eminem is the Ryan Johnson of rap?
Mm-hmm.
He subverted our expectations.
He definitely
did. Speaking of expectations, Jamie, what have you been up to this week?
Well, I have a big announcement, a great announcement.
Oh,
I finished Jurassic World Evolution.
Oh, bravo. Tell me about your pain and in great detail.
Well, it was the most lackluster last mission ever. That it became a nightmare. I pushed through. But then the last mission, they're like, "Oh, come here." And okay, what have I got to do? Have I got to, bring order back from all this chaotic stuff and that things not working, and you got to get the right dinosaurs? And no, please drive around a field and take photos of dinosaurs. That was literally the last mission.
They fucking hard.
Photograph, and I'm just like, oh. But it's complete. I've unlocked sandbox mode. I can create
That's
my
dirty.
my
I found it very
masterpiece.
dirty that they put sandbox mode behind.
No,
that.
sandbox mode was there, but you didn't have all the features unless you finish.
That's dirty. That is dirt. That is
It was
dirty.
so far. My review on this game is 2 out of 10.
Honestly, if you have to say that, I have to push. If you have to mention that your pain of finishing it,
Yeah.
2 seems fair.
Yeah. Look, first game, Jurassic World Evolution 1. Mwah, loved it.
Mm-hmm.
The right amount of challenge. And comfortable finishing it. But now you know what this means, right?
Yes, I
Yep.
do.
Yep.
It means 2 months until Spy. No. Yes, I will be.
Well,
when I
it
get a
is 2 months of
chance,
Spy Man. That is
Yeah.
true as well. That's
Yeah.
not.
I will be hopefully getting the chance and the time to start Final Fantasy 16.
Excellent.
Finally.
The first Final Fantasy I've played since Final Fantasy 7.
And not a bad
Not
one to
bad-
jump
a
into.
good
straight
a good
after
entry
that.
point, I'd say.
Yeah.
100% a good entry point.
Excellent.
Yeah, no, that's about it. I've been working a lot. I got a new laptop. It's working very wonderfully. Thank you. I was very
How's
much.
How's your Pornhub speeds?
Well, I want my laptop to maintain working, so I've got another laptop that I
Oh,
use
yeah, you know that
exclusively
for
for
keep
Pornhub.
one laptop
it's-
with
It's a special Pornhub. It's a PAWN, where it's where I can sell off all my knickknacks.
No, I thought you were going to say it's like just a website of chess pieces.
No.
So
In
Jamie
Pornhub.
has one laptop for when the FBI comes, so he goes, "Look at my nice clean work laptop," and then his other laptop. Speaking of FBI thing, how are you going? What did you do this week? So,
Oh, I love it. Well, this week for me, I actually experienced my first death in Final Fantasy 16 and that's 32 hours in, 76% done in the game. Unfortunately, I died once, and that was during the Bahamut fight.
That's a tough fight.
Yeah, it was. My hands were getting really, really sore because of all the button bashing. And unfortunately, I won't spoil it, but there was a certain area you needed to go into to be safe from an attack, and I thought I was there, but I wasn't. So it was a one-hit kill. And then I went back, and then I absolutely destroyed him the second time. But I had to give it a day because my hands were so sore.
Yep.
I played a really good demo of him that's coming to PlayStation Plus this month called Sea of the Stars, which is a new JPRG that's coming out.
Oh, interesting.
It's an indie. It's absolutely fantastic. It's very, it's 8-bit, so it looks, but 8-bit through a PS5, it looks amazing. So that was good. Loaded up Cyberpunk, ready to give that another crack once I finish Final Fantasy 16 this weekend. So
Nice.
I'm not far from the end of Final Fantasy 16, so I'm quite confident I will be finishing it tomorrow.
Yep.
And then because I'm now, I think my log says that I am 89% done with the main story. So
Yep.
yeah,
Yep,
probably got a couple hours left. But yeah, I went to the cinemas today and saw the Meg 2, The Trench, which was actually, it was a spur of the moment thing. We had some free tickets and had a bit of free time. I've had a lot of hospital and doctor's appointments this week and next week, so I just decided to head down and check it out at Rouse Hill, and it's really good. It's actually, in my opinion, better than the second one.
It was a good effort first film. So
yeah, no, and this one it picks up. It's got most of the same characters. I really enjoyed it. It's got a protagonist who I like to call Mexican Josh Brolin because I don't know who he is, but he's a dead set. Looks like a cross between Josh Brolin and Pedro Pascal, mixed into one. But no, you're like, oh, it's dinosaurs and sharks and stuff like that. You think it's going to be pretty, slapstick, but it's actually not. The story's quite solid. and a lot of action, a lot of violence, a lot of sharks, a lot of dinosaurs, and it's absolutely amazing. But that is not the best movie that I've watched today. Got home from the movies this afternoon, had a couple of hours to kill before podcasting, and I thought, you know what, I want to watch a biopic. I want to watch something interesting. I want to watch something and learn a bit of history. And this one actually came recommended by both you gentlemen. It is the most historical accurate biopic I've ever watched. And that was Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter. And that was absolute masterpiece.
Yep.
I again didn't look at my phone once. I absolutely loved it. It was on Disney Plus for those in Australia who want to check it out. And I'm sure it's on Disney Plus in America, but
I would imagine so.
I've been putting off this film for a long time, and it comes highly recommended by both you gentlemen. And I chucked it on, and I thought, I'm going to give it a go, and I loved it all the way through. It's just absolutely fantastic.
If you want to
train...
know about the truth about the Civil War, like
definitely.
again, there are some movies that there's. I mean, I think I treat it as a scale of like Ken Burns masterpieces. So there's like the Ken Burns Civil War documentary, his documentary on like Prohibition and the Old West, which are amazing. Then you see the things that he's inspired, which is on Netflix, the America movie, which is again a very another historically accurate film, and then obviously this one as well, which really goes deep into the true tale of the rise of Abraham Lincoln.
And it was so accurate, and the one thing that got me was the fight on the roof of the train at the very end was absolutely fantastic. Everything's firing, and Abraham Lincoln's working with his family and attacking. And the one thing that really got me at the very end, we could have had an Abraham Lincoln that lived forever. He was heading off to go to the theater with his wife, and as we know what happens in the theater. And he was offered by his maker look, let me make you immortal. Let's do this forever.
And I think this tells you a very important lesson. In life in general, if your spouse or significant other says you haven't taken them out enough and taken them out to the movies, don't listen to them.
Don't.
No, because you're going to get shot by a. This is just this. It's an important message, I think. Absolutely.
Yeah, but that was actually really good. And all I've been making my way through the great comedy show Blackish on Disney Plus at the moment. I'm into season 5, so it is definitely very political. And very
I love that show. That show is really good. But there was one. It was so look, like I'm going to spoil the show that's 1,000 years old now.
10 years old, so you can go.
There was one episode that like there's a string of episodes where I was like, honestly, I was shocked, amazed, and I was like going like, wow, this is crazy. Where they talk about how it was the grandmother talking to the youngest daughter, and like the daughter's asking her questions about who she's going to vote for. And then like she filled a survey. Then she's like, goes, what's your opinion? She goes, the grandma's like going, we should make America great again. And then there's like going, what about putting up a wall to keep immigrants out? And she goes, you mean we don't have one of those already? And she's like, she's saying all these things. She goes, when you put in the survey thought you actually were Trump, and then didn't give you an answer. She goes, but we vote Democrat, and walked off. And I was going, there's a beautiful reality where you have a lot of conservative African Americans voting Democrat because that's what they're told where they vote. And then what even more crazy was the episode where they had the election, where they're all talking about, what happened, and they have this poignant message to go, hey, rather than being angry that Trump won and be mad at his supporters, why don't we just, have a conversation with them and ask why did you feel you had to vote that way and understand each other? And then it got super Black Lives Matter and went all weird. And I was like going, you had the chance to bridge so many gaps, show. What happened? You were there. Honest, you were right there.
What I love about the show is the fact that it makes you care. Like for me personally, it makes me care. Like there's at the end of season 4, and this is not political at all. At the end of season 4, Dre and Bo, who are the couple, talking about going through a divorce. You know, they're possibly going to get.
There's some powerful episodes where those are where
Oh,
they're
100%.
just
And
like,
it's just so real. You know what I
yep.
mean? Like it's just and like yes, it is very political. But I have learned a lot from that show in terms of, you know, we know about racism, we know it happens, and I'm not going to go on a BLM. That's not my thing. But the fact that it still makes you laugh, and I absolutely, my two favorite characters are, you know, the Dre's mum Ruby and Dre's dad. I forget what his name is, but it's Lawrence Fishburne's character.
Lawrence Fishburne, yeah, the Lawrence Fishburne, yeah.
They make that show, but the fact that, you know, it gets you that emotionally invested that I was, you know, almost late to a doctor's appointment because I needed to make sure that they were going to be okay, because I can't have my
I was
sitcom family
disappointed
splitting
when
up.
the oldest daughter went away to college because
But she's got her own show now, Chris, so you can
I know,
watch
but
that.
I want to watch that show, but it's too like I'm not the demographic for that show. It's very much like it's a girl show, which is fine. Again, that's but I've watched I tried, I really did, because she's cool. I like her, so like I really tried. I like, and it had like Haley Bailey and her sister on it as well. The you know, I try honestly. I got about 5 episodes in before I was going like, I'm pretty sure I'm like losing testosterone. I just need to suffer.
Well, they tried to do something for the. I haven't watched it. I've watched, I think, the first episode a long time ago. They tried to do something for the guys and put one of the funniest black people in history, Charlie. He's one of my favorite characters. They put him in as a professor in marketing, and
Charlie
that sort of got. Yeah, he's just absolutely.
Charlie
that guy
makes that show. Charlie is honestly, I think, hands down, one of my favorite TV show characters that has ever been thought of, invented. When just his lines, where he goes, when he's like going, Dre, when you invite me over to, when you said barbecue, I wasn't sure if we're gonna eat barbecue or cook barbecue. Not what, but we're watching barbecue. This is better. it's just everything he says is genius.
got an ongoing feud with the youngest daughter, and they never.
Oh, that is just like,
he shows up and he's like, he says hello to everyone, and then looks at her and goes, Diane, and she's like, Charles, and this starts when she's like 5.
I know.
Reveal like why they have the feud. It's just there. So yeah, I've been watching that. That's my kind of go-to if I need a half an hour show just to get through. But yeah, it's been a great week for games and movies for me. I'm so glad I watched that Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter on your guys' recommendation.
Speaking of movies, I recently did the John Wick 1 to 4 back to back, and watching them in that, it's basically back to back. You sort of see the quality improve every single movie, which is rare. Well, you don't normally see a movie where there's like a three-peat movie where it's like, you normally see it decline as it goes along, as they sort of they try to, like, basically, if a trilogy movie or something can hold it together for the final trilogy and stick the landing halfway, it's like amazing. But this one is just basically like going, here's an awesome movie, amazing. Here's the sommelier, one of the greatest tasting scene with the greatest gun scene in the history of the universe, with the greatest character in the history of the universe, offering John Wick a sampling of weapons. And then then obviously in the third one again, they had like the knife fight scene in the beginning where it's just like, where it was one of the most accurate knife fighting scenes, because not all knives hit when they threw them like an actual knife would, like actually, like, you know, as you would. And then they top it with the fourth one with going, how long can we make each fight scene? And they went, how can we make this fight scene more insane than you could possibly ever imagine? Oh no, we'll go top down with dragon breath shotgun ammo. And I was just like, you geniuses. And now I know that they say he's dead, but he's not. Let's not pretend that he's not. Like, again, he's not dead. It's like, I think even they've said he's not dead. They just sort of like left it sort of like quasi open, but not really. Because watching them that so close together, I did notice something very interesting.
Yeah.
When he was at the doctor in the third one, the doctor said, you have to shoot me to make it look like, you know, that I put on a struggle. He said, shoot me. He points at the spot where to shoot him. He points at another spot to shoot him. And he goes, then he points at his shoulder where to shoot it to make sure where he would look like a lot of damage looks done, but all shots are completely non-fatal. Those are the exact spots that he gets shot in the duel. The exact areas where he got shot in the duel, which means that Kane knew that those are non-fatal shots, so we know that he had the ability to survive those wounds. And whilst you could argue that, but what about blood loss? You actually have to lose, I think it's 6 ounces of blood from your body for blood loss to actually be a thing. So he would have to bleed out really significantly, which means, again, we know he's not dead.
Well, they did the same. Marvel did the same thing when they had the death of Captain America, where he got shot in the shoulder and the lower stomach. And I'm like, come on, it's Captain America. Stomach wounds can be fatal, but it's Captain America.
Yeah. And if John Wick can survive being thrown out of a building,
yes,
twice in that same film, first time in the club scene, second time, but where any real and the thing is, there's still so much they can do in the John Wick universe that one, we've seen 2 of the major crime families. We've seen the Kimura, and we've seen the Ruski, but we haven't seen Bratva. We haven't seen the other sort of there's crime, there's so much you want that you could explore within inside of this universe. And obviously they're doing a test soon, which is basically the ballerina movie, which is going to be Anna Demira. I don't know, I will see that film for her alone. But I think this is the first time they're going to be showing a non-John Wick assassin and just basically saying, do people care enough about the universe? But my point is, as long as Anna as long as she spent enough time down at Taran Tactical to get the same levels of skills, if she's willing to put in the work, and the fight scenes are not just all fucking, what? There's a reason why we like the John Wick films. One, yes, are they? Yeah. Is John Wick awesome? Yes. Is it the fact when people hear John Wick, they go like, oh shit, it's John Wick? And yes. Is the Continental awesome? Is the manager awesome? Is the zombie lair one of the the greatest character of all time, offering him the greatest guns of all time? And is that scene is total gun porn? But it's because the actors bothered to do the 6 months of training and so the fight scenes are not done. They're not cut. They're not these quick camera angles that hide the fact that it's a stunt person. They are long shots of an actor who spent months doing the effort, the training, so he looks like he knows what he's doing. And by the third one, right now, I'd say Keanu, where he's on a gun range, must be pretty. I've seen the footage. He's he is if there's a war breaking out, and someone came to invade his house and he had a gun, I'd say, dude, I'm pretty sure John Wick's gonna take. I'm pretty sure Keanu Reeves is gonna take him out. I think the dude's like.
Well, I mean, the one line that sticks to me, and I still haven't seen the 4th one, but I don't. It's all good. I already know what happens, but I'm going to watch. I want to watch all of them. But the one line that sticks with me, and it's from the very first one too. It's is he the boogeyman? And then the Russian guys, no, John Wick is the man you send to kill the boogeyman.
Yep.
That's all that says. That just and that's the high level Russian mafia or Albanian or whatever he was, mafia guy saying that, and then you can already feel and just the fact, the police showing up. Oh, you're back in work, John. Yep, no worries. There's 12 corpses in his house. It's oh, you're back at work. You know what I mean?
I actually heard the directors explain why. The people said, "Oh, is the cop on the take?" And he said, "No, the cop knows that this is an assassin thing, and so he knows that they're not targeting civilians. They're not. They're keeping it into the underworld, and these guys have a code, and so it's going." I could, try this one, but it's going to be. But having said that, John still knows he needs to dispose of the bodies via a service. He can't just
the cleaning service is one of the best things in the trilogy. Seriously, the old guy with with a whole bunch of just you look at the place 7 hours later and it's absolutely spotless. Nothing's gone wrong.
Beautiful crime family.
Yeah, whoever whoever came up with the idea for John Wick is. They can keep going. Obviously, we've got the Continental, which is the series coming.
I am very much looking forward to seeing what they're going to do with that one. Absolutely.
But there's and I have to say, I know it's John Wick, but there's so many different avenues you can explore. I would even be happy with it. Like, is the Continental a prequel series? Like,
Yeah,
Yeah, so
well,
it's set in the
it's-
70s, and it's about a young Winston who's basically who would have just probably recently left MI6, joined the underworld, and then is now
Yeah.
like as a manager, as a newly appointed manager of the Continental. So there's like it's
Mhm.
the
So
70s
that's what
interesting.
got me sold anyway.
Exactly, it's like
you put the name John Wick. It's related to John Wick. It's in the John Wick universe. I don't even need to see a trailer. I mean,
yep, no,
Yeah.
you know what I
again,
mean?
but I do worry. Like I don't know enough about this Anna the big chick. Is she going to be like, oh, I don't want to do all the training? Can we just get a stunt person in, and then basically all the fight scenes become choppy hell shots? Because do you remember that GI Joe film?
I knew you were going to say that, Snake Eye.
You knew exactly what I was talking about.
Yep.
I'm an actor. I don't want to bother. Look, I
Yeah.
understand they don't want to do the learning. That's fine. But then obviously, then the fight scenes. But it's like I don't want to do the effort, but I still want to show you my face as much as possible. Well, it's like it's one or you do. You can do one or you can do both. You can't do like
Yeah.
you like. Oh,
But in saying that, they announced this quite a while ago, and it's
it's
still
okay. Maybe she's had time. Maybe she's had time.
You know, and why not use the actor's strike to brush up on your martial arts skills? And like, I mean, you're not really doing any work, so just study and then come
From my
back.
understanding, they'd had like this is already filmed. That's done.
Oh, is it really? Okay.
But having said that, it's probably gonna be delayed because I know that they filmed it or they were filming it. She did a film recently where she was talking at the Late Show with the show about Chris Evans when she did with Chris Evans. During that one, she was saying that they're basically filming it now. They're almost done filming it, so it would be completed probably. But editing it and like that, they probably stopped all that. So they probably paused all the.
Well, that's what I was saying today. Like when we went to the movies, there's so many good movies coming out in the next few months, and I said to Steph, you've got to understand that there's going to be a massive period of time.
There's going to be a drop off, like a fucking
because
just
I
like a
literally
stone.
looked at the schedule, and from now until the end of September, a movie comes out every week that I want to see, and that includes horror and other stuff. And I said it's exciting now, but in say 6 to 12 months, we're going to have a massive gap where there's nothing coming out.
But not before your favorite movie, Ryan. The Marvels is
I
coming
saw
out.
a trailer. I refused to watch a trailer, and I had to see the trailer today because it was at the cinema, and God, that looks awful.
It does. It really does.
Really
It really like I don't understand
how
something can be so shit.
And the thing is, like, I know a lot of people didn't, but I watched Miss Marvel and I actually enjoyed it. It wasn't the best thing I've ever seen. It definitely wasn't in the top 20, but it was an enjoyable film.
Yeah, I watched a few episodes.
But that just the whole idea, it's like Freaky Friday in the Marvel universe. They're switching bodies and just you have the opportunity to do the Kree Skrull War, and you just okay.
Again, but as again, remember, as the Secret War director said, he doesn't give a fuck what we think. We're all stupid, and all that matters is his opinion about things. So again, I'm paraphrasing what he said in an interview, but I'm not far from not far from what he said. So
But also, I did. Speaking of like superhero stuff, I did see some news. I think it was today or yesterday. James Gunn related that he's
very
much considering having Gal Gadot and doing a Wonder Woman 3.
No, I saw today that they said they're doing it.
Oh, they're doing it. Okay, cool.
It's not a rumor; it's confirmed.
Okay, so that's going to be like he said he's going to redo the whole universe, but obviously he's
redo the universe, but keeping the actors they want is fine.
Okay.
Like I've no issues with that one.
And I'm not complaining. Gal Gadot's a fantastic Wonder Woman. I'm not complaining at all. Let's just hope with her acting and James Gunn get a better stories than what we've had.
Oh yeah, it'll be more like I think it's gonna be more like the first Wonder Woman than it would be the one where people realize, oh wait, this director actually can't write, and the fact that the script was written for her, whoops, Like it was, the realization of like, oh crap.
Great. The first one was great, dealing with the the gods and everything, which was kind of what the comics were around that time from the New 52. But the second one was just a piece of garbage.
Yeah,
It just
because,
had
because
it
she got
had
to
no
Patty
yeah,
Jenkins
it
got
was-
to write her own film,
yeah,
and people didn't realize that she didn't write the first one, but
yeah.
people thought that she did. Then people realized actually no, like Zack Snyder, I did the outline, someone wrote her, then
Right.
all she did was shoot it. And it's like going,
No,
oh, whoops, maybe we
it
gave her
was
too much
kind of
power. It's
kind of like
it's the Watiti thing all over again. It's the Watiti thing all
yeah.
over again.
Yeah.
I was saying it's kind of like Taika Waititi with Ragnarok. Everyone thought he was, the be all and end all when
Yeah.
he actually wasn't. And
No,
then he got to do Love and Thunder, and we saw,
well,
okay,
he's
look, yeah.
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 I'm still sad about that because I thought he was this great creative guy, but then I realized like,
Yeah.
oh no, you have very clear limitations where you shouldn't write anything.
Yeah.
You shouldn't
It's the M Night. It's the M Night thing. Don't write
actually
it.
no. He can write it as long as Jermaine is with him. As long as
Yeah.
Jermaine is the co-writer,
Yeah.
where when T's are going, let's do this, and Jermaine's like, hey, no, let's not do that. Let's tell a story. Let's follow this
Yeah.
particular plot, and then
Yeah.
and T's like, but we'll do this and this and this, and he goes, no, let's tell this story, and there it is. So he needs
Yeah.
Jermaine with him, or else like
Or it has to be an adaptation, like we said, Jojo Rabbit was adapted from a book.
Yeah, and that was amazing. That was a great
yeah,
film.
yeah. But yeah, to James' point, yes. So he had a clear. Basically, he needs boundaries. Like all good children, he needs boundaries, and if you give him boundaries, he does well.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree completely. But
100%.
look, I'm keen. Like I'm keen. I trust James Gunn. As I said, he's one of the very few directors that that for me hasn't had a bad film in my eyes. So I'm good if he wants to give us more Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman and give us good story to go with it for sure.
Yeah, I would
And
like,
the same with Aquaman. If he decides to bring Momoa back as Aquaman, and I would love. And I'm not. The first Aquaman movie wasn't bad. It was fantastic.
it's good. I loved it. Yeah,
I'd like to see what James Gunn can do.
Yeah.
So yeah, 100%. It just gets me more and more excited. Every time we do this podcast, I say how excited I am about James Gunn. So just bring it on.
bring it on.
In guns we trust.
In guns we trust.
In gun, America. It is your catchphrase. In gun we trust.
Yeah, says John Wick.
Yeah.
What do you need, Wick? Guns. Lots of guns.
Oh, that was a pretty good. That was a pretty good Keanu, Chris.
Yeah, actually, yeah. Have you been practicing?
I have been practicing for a reason you guys probably know why
Have you? I mean, once upon a time when you were teaching us how to perfect our certain accents, you've always said you got to have a word that you can do, and come back to. If you're slipping, you come back to it. So is your word whoa?
No, with Keanu, no, it's not whoa, it's yeah. and then you come. So every time I slip, I come back to the because the worst. But I see him now as John Wick. So the John Wick, that's like then it's like consequences. Yeah, this is how you get the John Wick. And yes, and also because I have watched I watched the 4 movies in a row and then fucking loved it. And honestly, I'm tempted to go back and put it in German. I just want to see what it looks like with German John Wick.
Yeah.
But my final thought on this whole John Wick thing is that the Russian guy at the beginning is a bad father, and the main reason why. What's one good advice you would probably want to tell your son? Hey, there's this guy in this world that we live in, lives close near us, has a nice car. If you see him, walk up to him and say, I'm sorry about the loss of your wife. You pat him on the back and you walk away. You don't, that's it. Like if I was in his organization, I have pitched of John Wick to every one of my men saying, see this man? If you see this man anywhere, tip your hat. Hello, Mr. Wick. Hope you're having a nice day, and then that's it. Walk away. This is a simple.
Or say nothing at all.
Or say nothing at all. Like bad father, just absolutely bad father. Just.
Yeah. Well, clear. I mean, not even that. Like you just see how this kid lives, you can kind of understand that.
Yeah.
Bad
But
father.
I was actually listening to a psychologist on YouTube talking about the John Wick effect and saying that like when humans have trauma in their life, when it cascades, our minds actually link the traumas together. And so when John Wick's wife died, he was already facing this huge trauma, and when his dog died, I think it's a cascading trauma. But so when that person killed his dog, it's not that he killed his dog. His mind's linked the death of his wife to the dog, and so in John Wick's mind, he's killed his wife. And then so that's
Yeah.
so it's like and so I was going, yeah, so that person of grief would absolutely just go absolutely fucking nuts on the universe with guns because like in his mind he's linked those two events together. And so basically anyone who's basically hurt that dog is basically in his mind hurting his wife's memory, and then that's basically what he's. I'm like going, okay, yeah, don't kick the man when he's down because he might get back up. Anyway, John, thank you for listening to the John Wick cast.
Well, look, you guys have had a lovely conversation talking about this, talking about that. I think it's my time to do some talking with our next installment of.
Oh shit.
Correcting IGN. This one's personal.
Oh.
I, for some reason, had a little video pop up, and it was the IGN review of the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh, love it.
Now, I haven't seen the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. All right, so this is just going off their points of what they say is good and what they're, what's bad and all that stuff. And I found a lot of their points and saying why it's good is incorrect. Now, I will say that I'm going to watch this movie. I feel obligated to watch this movie.
Oh, that must be so painful.
I'm not going to be paying for it because I have free tickets.
Oh, okay.
So, and I'm not going to go to a big fancy classy cinema. I'm going to go to the closest cinema, which will be like a downgrade. But yeah.
Can you bring someone with you to film your pain?
I'll do it.
Like, because I want that footage and then put it online, basically of your pain.
Chris, it'll be an hour and a half of Jamie face.
Exactly. Now I have a man going.
You know how in the office there's that meme where Jim just looks at the camera. Yeah. That's gonna be me.
I know. But continue.
Yes. Now look. I understand that. I've been thinking about this. There's two kinds of turtle fans.
Mm-hmm.
There's the fan that goes, "It's turtles, therefore it's good." And there's nothing you can say or do that will make them go, "Okay, that wasn't good." And then there's the ones that have the idea in their head of how it should be.
And that sounds like Star Wars fandom, to be honest.
That sounds familiar to me.
Yeah. Because
people that will be like, you can do no wrong. If the word Star Wars or the word Ninja Turtles are in the title, it's going to be good.
And look, I'm in a lot of Ninja Turtle groups, and there's a lot of people in there that are very passionate, and it's always, "This looks amazing! Oh, it's fantastic!" And then a comment going, the opposite. It's garbage. No,
But Jamie, as I said to you before, we've seen this happen. We can plot the exact thing.
Yeah,
these diehard fake turtle fans, or these turtle fans, will then go see the movie and realize, oh, it's shit. But they've posted so much online, they can't go back and be like, I was wrong. They have to double down, and they have to bite harder, and then they have to get death threaty because that's what their reaction is. Again, I was in the same number of Star Wars groups around Last Jedi. I'm familiar with the fan. I'm familiar with this event.
I'm part of the internet wrestling community. So
oh my god, you've seen the worst then.
Feel your pain. So but look, I'm with you, Jamie. I want to see it. I do want to see it.
No, I don't want to. I feel obligated. Look,
I still have hope. I have hope because we got that amazing 2007 Ninja Turtle TMNT movie.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Here's the thing about that. 2007 was done by Peter Laird.
No, I get it. Yeah.
and I can feel the tension between Peter's vision and Kevin's vision.
Mhm.
You know, because every time Kevin's involved, there's a fifth turtle.
Yeah.
You know,
There's always a fifth turtle.
He clearly wants a fifth turtle. Albeit in the IDW, they made a fifth turtle, and they did it much, much better than the
Venus?
yeah, 100%. And it made more sense. It was like one of their friends was badly injured. Only thing they could do was a transfusion, so they did Donatello had to do a transfusion with a human.
Yep.
Therefore, mutating that human into a turtle. Like, okay, cool, made more sense.
It made sense.
Then they dropped the bomb, and then half New York became mutants. So then they went null. Then they just went all like everyone's a mutant.
Yeah, but look, where I stand before I dig into this destroy IGN. Where I try to come from the perspective of what was the creator's initial vision. You know?
Yeah.
And when you look at the original TMNT, the comic book, even the 80s cartoon, and to what's now, it's kind of a long way from that. So that being said, let's dive into this. I just jotted down all the points that IGN made of what is good to them.
Yeah.
Top of the list, he said, Splinter is more of a father figure than a master.
Well, I can get behind that because essentially IDW did the same thing.
Yeah, but I think they had that balance though.
No, they definitely had a great balance.
I'm like this, from what I've seen, Splinter is basically a sitcom dad.
Oh.
You know?
He was a master and their father in the
Yeah.
fucking first movie. He was like, my sons.
Yeah.
This is like,
yeah,
that's never been a problem in any of the Turtles things.
Yeah.
Because a good dad isn't one that's goofy and things. A good dad's, sets the. Oh my god. Okay. I'm already mad, but please continue.
And even bringing it back to what me and Ryan are doing on the comic Middle Ages Comic Hour episodes, we just did issue 3, and it starts with a 16-year-old grandson of Shredder being initiated into leadership. Into you're 16 years old. You are taking over. You're old enough now. You're taking over the Foot Clan.
Yep.
You know, that's the kind of turtle stuff that I love. You know, like, and I've always found that Splinter is the perfect. He's a father, but he's also a master.
Yeah,
correct. Yeah.
And not like hey kids, you know, and you know that. The other thing that they said is really, really good is that they're really leaning into the teenager aspect, and I'm just like,
what does that even mean?
No, well, they sound like they're 8, you know, and it's just like, you know.
But I did read a review of how they learned their martial arts. And...
Is it? I'm guessing this is because I'm just picking up a vibe. They learned it from watching TV.
Yep.
Yeah. Which is better than reading it from a book. But
no, it is not. It is.
I'm saying not by much. Not by.
Like, okay, yeah. Learning to be Asian from a book, yes, that was bad. That was dumb.
Yeah.
But also watching a martial arts and going, I can do this, is also equally as stupid.
Yeah. Which again takes away Splinter, because Splinter's a dad, not a master.
Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm already mad. But continue on.
You want to get madder?
Yeah.
This is what really got me. None of the turtles feel like they're copying a version that came before.
What?
Meaning they're.
But the turtles had set personalities.
I know.
For a reason, because that's how the creator created these turtles.
Yeah, but they had personalities. Yeah, so basically it's free for all. To get even more annoying, the guy, and this isn't the first time IGN have not pronounced the word correctly, but nunchucks. Would you call them like nunchuckers? Is that what you? No? What do you call them?
Nunchucks.
Nunchaku, depending if you're doing the Japanese version.
Yeah, well, because he said nunchaku. It sounded really weird.
So he's a Inception correcting IGN within the correcting IGN thing.
Again, he's referring to he's being pretentious. That's fine. He's being pretentious.
I'm just gonna call them like sticks with chains.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. They said it had a predictable plot, which apparently they like. It has a predictable plot.
And yet they like the expectation twisting of Last Jedi.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Now, Chris. Once upon a time on this podcast, you were defending the gender swap of Leatherhead. We have your record. Like so Leatherhead in this is a woman.
Okay.
Rose Byrne.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And look,
Great Australian actress. Great Australian actress.
However, okay, so traditional Leatherhead.
Yes.
He's basically Louisiana, you know. Well, I'm Leatherhead. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, in this, she's Australian.
But in saying that, like a lot of foreigners associate crocodiles and alligators with Australia.
Correct.
So that's what I'm thinking. That I'm not saying it's her fault, but I reckon
that's what they went for.
And if you also go to Cairns in Queensland, you'll see a lot of huge ones.
Yeah.
A lot of people associate crocodiles with. I'm not defending IGN because I hate them. A lot of foreigners that I see online and especially through TV and movies, they associate crocodiles as well as Louisiana, but mainly with Australia. So I think that's probably what they did.
Yeah. However, Leatherhead's been around. He's
100%.
He's first from Louisiana, like he's got that southern draw, and then in the 2003 series, he's like a full-on scientist kind of guy, and he's not like thick. It's like because they really get Rose Byrne to ham up that Aussie accent.
But all Americans movies do that.
Yeah. No, but like this is beyond. Like this is like go for it, go full on, you know. And I'm not okay with that. But I also heard that I didn't get this from IGN, but another review where you've got Baxter Stockman, brilliant casting.
Mm-hmm.
He's in it for 5 minutes.
Yep.
He does not get turned into a mutant fly.
Yep.
They created their own mutant fly.
Yep.
So you have this sea of mutants to choose from. You have almost 40 years of turtles, and they just create a new mutant. Instead of doing the arc that everyone loves.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that kind of intrigued me from this though is April. Yes, she's a high schooler, but she's also really into journalism, which plays into the April reporter thing. But yeah, look, that's all I got from IGN.
Okay, well, so on the back to Stockman thing, I think there is copyright issues with actually the character, so I think that's probably why they went that way. I think they were
no, not necessarily. No, from what I heard is they did that because they said it was too similar to the movie The Fly.
But I heard there's also a copyright thing where technically Fox owns the Fly character, or Disney owns the back to. Like,
how does that work when he's like a prominent character in every single Ninja Turtles?
I heard that there was some legal challenge they didn't want to bother going through. So
I think it was the Disney owns the movie The Fly with Jeff Goldblum.
Okay.
Albeit Baxter Stockman was probably modeled off that, considering like Ninja Turtles is basically modeled off Daredevil.
True.
You know, but I don't just think that's just ridiculous. Yeah, if you're not going to turn Baxter Stockman into a fly, just do Baxter Stockman. He's a great villain.
Yep. The movie is this is going to be this. I can't like, and I don't want to be sound mean or mean spirited.
Mm.
But Ryan, we've gone through a number of years now when I've experienced great pain over the death of a franchise, and Jamie face over there has been sitting there going, doesn't affect me. Well, it's like, well, there's a saying out there. That's where it's like going, when they come for the bakers, I wasn't a baker, so I did nothing. When they came for the Yeah, when they came for the press, I'm not the press, and they did nothing. And when they finally came for me, there was no one to do anything. Well, Jamie, they've finally come for your precious turtles, and now you understand what living through hell will be like.
No. In my defense, look, with Star Wars, they always tried to continue it. Like, it's a continuation when Turtles is always a reboot. It's always a different iteration. So I can easily detach from anything new and go back to, that, because it's like how many times has Splinter had a different origin, Every single time there's a new Turtles show or movie, there's a different origin,
Well.
You can separate it,
Well, no, see, that's how you see it, but that's not how everyone else in the entire universe saw it. And so you're there going like, well, it doesn't affect me. And now here you are, Jamie.
Oh, I'm just saying it got
what is the terminology that they use about these sort of things? Reaping what one sows, is that the word? Is that the word I'd say? Is where it's like, well, we get to that, like, and now you'll sit here and we'll do probably 6 more episodes on this subject, and we should. And you'll be talking about the pain, and I'll be sitting there going, well, this sounds awfully familiar. It sounds awfully familiar.
I still stand by it that it's easier for me to let go.
Yeah, easier for you to let go. To you. But you and Jamie, by that logic, I could do the same with Turtles, but I don't, because I respect your opinion on the subject, on Turtles. I respect your law on Turtle law. So it's going to be interesting.
So, Jamie, in your opinion, what was the best series on TV of Ninja Turtles?
2003.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Turtles. And that's the one Peter Laird worked on. It was it was almost word for word comic book.
It was very dark because it was what his original. It was very close. I guess I heard that it was like Laird was trying to do the original, like this is what he envisioned for the original cartoon series as well. But obviously, it became, because of the toys, it became very kiddie, and it was amazing. And honestly, that's actually my favorite Turtle series as well, and it's actually one of the ones I will probably I try to watch as much as I'll actually probably do a rewatch of that one, because it's really good. Like, it's just like it has no right to be as good as it is. It's like going, why are you good? What's going on?
Yeah. And what was the one that you hated? Was that the 2012 one?
Yes. Yeah,
I had Cat Graham in it, so it was good.
No, she wasn't in that one.
No, the cartoon.
Yeah, that's not 2012.
Was it? No, that was...
there's a cartoon series that was 2012 to 2017.
But let's just say it had Jason Biggs as Leonardo, which was a decent voice. But then
the Nickelodeon Turtles, yeah.
But then he got let go.
Oh, okay.
And then you know who replaced him?
Who?
Seth Green. Tell me how those voices are like. Are you trying to confuse children? like, it was way too kiddie. Like, and that's the turn when they became early teens instead of mid to late teens. But the other thing that was weird is that the original voice actor for Raphael from the 80s cartoon voiced Donatello in this series. So it just sounded weird.
Oh, really?
Like, he did the same turtle voice, but so Raphael sounded like, so Donatello sounded like the original Raphael. It was really random.
And then then came my favorite series, which is Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh, that was bad. That was so bad. That was horrible.
The movie was amazing.
Oh, no, okay. No, and that was purely writing.
Yeah. They had old Leonardo, and that was a great, that was an amazing film.
It was well written, but again, don't like the designs.
But it was a good, but you even admit that it was a great film, like, it was good.
Oh, it was good, but like, I've seen it now, I don't need to watch it again. But the only thing that got me through it was the good writing. It was like the writing was really good, and it's like, why couldn't you have that writing with better designs and better voices?
Hey, Cat Graham, do not even think about it.
Did I say?
You said voices. You said voices.
Yeah. And when I say voices, I usually mean the turtle voices. Like, I mean, Sonic the Hedgehog. The voice of Sonic the Hedgehog was the voice of Leonardo.
Yeah, true.
And look, he's a great Sonic. I'll get you that.
No, he's great Sonic, but he's not leader material. You're right.
No, well, and they obviously knew that because they went, Raphael is the leader, and you're like,
But that was also like what they did with the cartoon series Wolverine and the X-Men, where Wolverine became the leader of the X-Men, not because of any other reason, but Hugh Jackman was super popular at the time. So then, like,
yeah. But that series was, from memory, that series was really good.
No. That series was great. I love that series. That's actually one of my. That's a fantastic show. That's so good. Yeah. Actually, yeah. Oh, good. That's a good one. That's actually a good one. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, look, it's getting late. We should have a proper shout out to our sponsor, Rebecca Cassells, and the Rising Dawn series.
We did, but yeah, you can do it again.
I know. Look, I'm just excited that she's got another baby out there called Caleb. Congratulations, Rebecca Cassells. Now I think you're gonna have a lot more free time to write, right? Is that how it works?
That is correct.
And the collaboration can begin.
Indeed. The Cat Graham Henry Cavill chess tournament romantic novel can finally take place.
I'm surprised she didn't call her son Henry. You know, or is it about? Would that be too weird?
Yeah. You know the worst thing about this is Jamie.
What?
When we write the Cat Graham Henry Cavill romantic erotic chess novel,
chess.
We'll have to learn actual chess moves and the names for them, and actually make the chess team seem believable.
Well. Someone in this podcast was a key card-carrying member of the chess club school.
Oh, there we go.
Oh wow, here's the input.
Because you have to talk about the rook to e5 and the queen's gambit and the other moves that are all there's a whole show about the queen's gambit. I'm going, is that a move? There's So
you just need a list of moves.
No, no. There's also defensive styles that people play. There's if we're gonna do chess, we got to again. I am not Ryan Johnson. I am not gonna phone in learning it. I'm not gonna be like Jedi do this, don't they? I don't know.
Chris,
we're gonna study chess correctly.
Is it about chess or is it about?
It's not the point. The point is, if you're going to do something, you're going to learn about what you're doing, and you're going to make sure that it is relatable to the chess fans out there. And yes, it's mostly an excuse for them to get their clothes off and make it with the sexy times, but that's not the point.
Can't we just have 300 pages of them staring at each other over a chessboard?
No, because they're going to play it erotically, and then but I want actual chess players to listen to the game and actually be able to follow along with the game itself. Be oh man, they're actually doing really solid moves. That's the whole point of it.
You know what the greatest chess game, I guess you could say, in any movie ever was?
What?
The Robert Downey Jr. Sherlock Holmes with Moriarty.
No, yeah.
It was all done in their
heads, yeah.
I'm sorry, that was brilliant.
No, we're gonna do this correctly.
All right, okay, I'll check my schedule. All right, guys, thanks for listening. If you want to reach out to us, the true and the fictional at gmail.com or stories_podcast on Instagram. Thank you for listening. Please check out Rebecca Cassells and the Rising Dawn series on Amazon. And I'm going to take you guys home with a thought I recently had. Feel free to answer it, but it's more of a rhetorical question. If two vegans are arguing, is it still considered a beef?
Yes!
Thank you, guys.
Yes!
Catch you next time.
See you next time.